Today is day 3 of 100 days of random acts of kindness. As some of you know, I was in remission for 4 years, and then Keith's dad was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer in May of 2015. And so Keith and I had been engaged, but we hadn't set a date, and we'd been engaged at that point for 2 years. And so Keith and I talked it over, and we thought it was really important that Keith's dad was at our wedding. So we planned a wedding for 160 people in about 3 months. And our wedding day was September 26th. And his dad passed away at the end of July. So he was not at our wedding, which was heartbreaking. So it was a very strange process trying to plan something joyful while his dad was very sick. And then kind of plan a funeral in between planning a wedding. And then about 6 days after we buried his dad, I started getting strange symptoms, which led to my diagnosis 9 days before our wedding. So it was absolutely insane. And we really try to keep Keith's dad's memory alive. We recognize his birthday and the day he passed away, and we're always talking about memories and little things that happen when the power is out or whatever that we see that we just kind of wonder if it's him saying hello. And so in January, in the middle of my 100 Days of Gratitude project, fellow tweeter asked if she private messaged me and said, can you send me your email address? She said, I want to send you a little note. So she had breast cancer in the past, and we had followed each other since we both had breast cancer. And then I had since been terminal. And so she emailed me this really lovely note and saying that she loves following along the 100 Days of Gratitude, and that she's grateful that I have somebody like Keith, because she had a wonderful partner as well when she was going through treatment. And then the next email was her sending me an Interact e-transfer, and she was sending money, which I obviously had no idea, for Keith and I to do something wonderful together. And she sent $500 to me. And just to put that into perspective, imagine knowing somebody only online and sending them $500. I still can't really get past that, and that was almost 6 months ago. Samantha's generosity is overwhelming, and I really struggled because, like I called my mom, I talked to Keith, what do I do? It's so generous, and I know she wouldn't have sent it if she didn't want to send it or couldn't send it or couldn't afford to send it. But at the same time, I can't take $500 from a stranger. I can't take $500 from somebody I know, let alone $500 from a stranger. So we hemmed and hawed, and so I kind of wrote her back an ultimatum, and I said, number 1, I will accept this money if you let me do one of my 100 Days of Gratitude for you. And number 2, if I were to accept this money, it would go towards flights down to Florida, where Keith's parents bought a nice little retirement spot, and Keith's dad got 2 winters down there. One after they bought it, they went down and rented, and then the following year they bought, and he knew that May, when he was diagnosed, that he wouldn't be going back down there. And so we were thinking about maybe going down and spending some time with Keith's mom, and Keith's dad's birthday is at the end of February, so I emailed Samantha and said, 1, you have to let me do a video about you for my 100 Days of Gratitude, and 2, that money will go towards flights down to Florida to spend Keith's dad's birthday with Keith's mom. And Samantha emailed me back and she said, have a good time in Florida. And so my third day of random acts of kindness go to Samantha, because I just think that's amazing. And our time down in Florida was before the progression, before I knew it was in my liver, before this insanity, this new trial. One of the top 3 side effects is shortness of breath, and I feel like I climbed the stairs, but I made sure I kind of caught my breath before I started the video, but I just seem to be constantly clearing my throat, like I feel like something's here, and I'm kind of wondering. You also have to wonder what's in your head and what's actually going on, but so yeah, just before all this craziness happened, we're another early morning at the hospital tomorrow, and I just think back of that week in Florida, and it was so lovely, and watching bocce ball and being in the pool, and oh my gosh, it was so amazing. So I'm just so grateful for that. Can you imagine opening your email and seeing an email transfer for $500 from, like I said, a virtual acquaintance, but essentially a stranger? So today, that's my random act of kindness. I hope you guys are having a good day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.